Hello, this is Jamie from Creations Misfit, and today I'm going to show you how to make a very quick and very easy bulky messy bun beanie or a ponytail beanie. These work up really fast. I probably can make one in about 45 minutes. I think when I started it took me about an hour to make. So what you'll need is some bulky yarn. This is a size 6, and I'm just using something from my stash, so I'm not exactly sure how many yards I used, but I think I used about 95 yards of super bulky size 6 yarn. And you could probably even make it with like a thicker size 5, but I've only ever used size 6. And then you will need a 7mm hook. It also works with an 8mm hook. I've used both depending on what I had on hand and who I was making it for. My cousin, she has like a little bit of a larger head than most, so I used an 8 for hers. And then you'll need some scissors and a yarn needle. So we will go ahead and get started. It's very quick and very easy, so it's beginner friendly. Let's see. All right, so what we're gonna do is start with a slip knot. If you don't know, I mean, this is very easy. There's not very many different kinds of stitches or anything like that. But if you don't know something that I'm talking about, I will put a description or a link in the description box below for those stitches. So we're going to start with a slip knot, and then you're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you hear some loud banging outside, it's somebody's moving outside and I'm right in front of the window, so I apologize. Okay, and from there we're going to single crochet in the second loop from the hook. So we're going to skip this first one. We're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. And then we're going to single crochet all the way across. So you should have a total of 7 single crochets across. I'm just doing a regular single crochet, but I use my thumb in a strange way, so if it looks funny, that's why. But it's just a regular single crochet. Okay, so we have 7 single crochets there for our first row. And what we're doing is we're starting with the brim. Sorry, I didn't mention that. Okay, you're going to chain 1 and turn. That was row 1. And for row 2, we're going to do back loop only single crochets. But we are going to do the very first stitch and the very last stitch as a regular single crochet. It just makes it easier when you're putting the hat together, and it also just looks a little bit more cleaned up. So for the first stitch, you're going to do a regular single crochet through both loops. So regular single crochet, and then for the next 5 stitches, you're going to do a single crochet in just the back loop only. If you're unfamiliar, if you look at the top of your stitches, here's the front loop, here's the back loop. We're just going to go into this back loop. It gives it a nice ribbing effect. And then just do your regular single crochet from there. So for the middle 5 stitches, that was 1, here's 2, you're just going to grab those back loops. 3, 4, 5, and then for the very last stitch, you're going to do a regular single crochet again. It might sound a little bit confusing, but I mean, basically, you're just going to do back loop single crochets, but not the first and the last stitch. I know I'm repeating myself already, but sometimes when I, watch somebody's tutorial, I always have to kind of go back and re-listen to what they're saying. All right, and then you're going to chain 1. That was row 2, and we're going to start with row 3. And it's the same thing for every single row of the brim. We're going to do a single crochet in the first, and then back loop crochet, single crochets in the middle 5 stitches, and then a regular single crochet in our 7th stitch, and then chain 1 and turn. So you're going to do this for approximately 45 rows. That's what I do, is 45 rows. You may need to measure your brim around your head, or whoever's head you're making it for, and you might come up with something a little bit less or a little bit more. It doesn't matter how many rows that you do. Usually if it measures between like 18 inches and 19 inches, that's normal for an adult size hat. So, you know, you may just want to measure when you get to about 40 and see where you're at. But I do 45. That seems to fit. I've made these for several people. I sell them in my Etsy shop, and that seems to fit mostly everybody. So go ahead and do your 45 rows, or however many rows you're going to do, but make sure you count how many rows you're going to do, because we'll need to know that when we start the hat portion. So go ahead and finish your brim by doing single crochet, and then 5 back loop only single crochets, there's that truck, and then a single crochet at a regular single crochet at the end, chain 1, and turn. And your 45 rows will work up really quickly because we're using such a big hook and a large yarn. So go ahead and do those, and you'll start to see the ribbing as well. And I will meet you back when you're finished with that. I just wanted to come and show you, I'm about 24 rows in, and I just wanted to show you what it should be looking like. Something like this. And also, I forgot to tell you the kind of yarn I was using. I think this was a Karen's Tea Cake, which is discontinued now, which is really sad because I love this yarn. But I just had some leftovers that I'm using in my stash. So I just want to show you where you should be. This is about 24 rows in. So go ahead and keep finishing up, and I will meet you when we're done with our 45 rows, or however many you choose to do. Okay, I finished up my rows. I actually ended up doing 43 instead of 45 for this one because this yarn is pretty thick, and I measured it around my own head, and 43 seems like a comfortable fit. So whatever you ended up with is just fine. And what we're going to do here is just chain 1 and then flip your work, and we're going to single crochet, or I'm sorry, slip stitch the brim together. So if you're unfamiliar with that, we're just going to go, you can kind of loosen this. We're going to go through each stitch on this side and on this side and do a slip stitch. Now, people do this all different kinds of ways. This is the way that I do it. You just have to make sure that you're going to go through each of the 7 evenly on both sides. So I put my hook through here, and I pick up this loop and bring it through and just do a chain there just to kind of secure it. And this little piece you can either weave in your ends later, or you can go through it here as you're going through the stitches. So I go back through that first one that I just did because that's not really that secure, and I do a slip stitch there. So you're going to go through this side and then the first stitch on the other side and just complete a slip stitch. And then you're going to do the same all the way across. You're going to go into the next stitch here and the second stitch here and complete a slip stitch. Make sure you're going through evenly. There's the third one. 4. Just pick up both sides. 5. 6, and then get through that last one. 7, and you finish a slip stitch like that, and then you can chain 1. And you can either leave this side on the outside, I mean it kind of just blends with that, or you can put it on the inside so that it looks like that instead. And you'll have to weave this in later. So either way is fine. Now I gotta move my hook around because I did it inside out. Okay, so from here we're gonna start the hat. So you're gonna turn your work so that we can start working around for the hat. And for round 1, we are going to chain 1 I know we chained one already, but you're going to chain another one here. And we're going to half double crochet in every stitch around. So that's why it was important for you to know how many rounds you did, or how many rows you did of the brim. If you did 45, then you're going to do 45 half double crochets around. I did 43. So I will go into this, you're going to just go into the tops of the stitches. You can kind of see here, you'll go into the one like sticking out, and then the one behind, the one sticking out, the one behind. So it's kind of easy to tell because of the ribbing, but as long as they're pretty even around, and you get in as many as many stitches around as rows you did, then you're fine. So here's one, and then you can see there's like a space here, two, and then I'll go into the top of this round, or this row, 3, and then the next one there's kind of a hole there for this back one, 4, and you'll find your way around. So just go ahead and do half double crochets all the way around in the number of brim rows that you did, and then I will meet you back. Okay, so I just finished up my 43rd half double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch into this very first half double crochet that you did in the round. Go ahead and slip stitch, whoops, slip stitch to the first, and then you're going to chain 1 and turn. My yarn is variegated, if you notice that it's a different color now. Alright, so for round 2, we're going to half double crochet again, but we're going to do the back loops only. If you're unfamiliar with that, each stitch has a front loop and a back loop. We're just going to go, normally you would go through both loops. We're just going to pick up the back loop. And it's pretty easy with, I mean, it's pretty easy once you get used to it anyways, but it's really easy with bulky yarn and a larger hook. But we're going to get into this very first one. So yarn over like a regular half double crochet, and you're just going to half double crochet into that back loop. And then the next one, instead of going through the full stitch here like that, just grab that back loop. And you're going to back loop, half double crochet all the way around for however many stitches you had. I have 43, so I will do 43 half double crochets in the back loop only. So you can pause the video and, whoops, you can pause the video and finish up yours, and I will meet you back for round 3. Alright, I'm coming up to the end here. So what you're going to do is just slip stitch to the beginning again. Oops. Slip stitch, chain 1, and turn. And by turning, it's going to give us a nice, it's going to make this pop out a little bit more. So make sure you're turning after every round. Now that was the end of round 2, and for rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6, we're just going to do the exact same thing. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and then half double crochet in the back loops only for however many stitches you have. For me it's whoops. It's got stuck. For me it's 43. So I'm going to just keep doing half double crochets in the back loop only all the way around for 43 stitches for this row, which is 3, and then also for rows 4, 5, and 6. So do 4 rows of this all together, and then we will meet back up. When you get to the end, make sure you slip stitch into the first half double crochet, chain 1, and turn your work, or turn your work and then chain 1. And I will meet you back after row 6. So this is row 3. Do this row, row 4, row 5, and row 6, and I will meet you at the end of row 6. I've just finished up round 4, and I just wanted to kind of show you what it should be looking like here. I still have 2 more rows to go before we meet again, but this is what it should be looking like. You can see that the ribbing stands out nicely. It's my tail. So I'm going to do 2 more rounds, rows 5 and 6, and then I will come back with you again. I just wanted to show you what it should be looking like. Alright, I'm coming up to the end of round 6 here. So I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of that first half double crochet, chain 1, and turn. Okay, so that's about what we should have so far. And then for we have just 3 rounds left. For round 7, we are still going to half double crochet in the back loops only, but we're going to start decreasing. So for the first 2, you're just going to do them as regular, a half double crochet in the back loop only, and then a half double crochet in the back loop only. So 2 of those, and then we're going to do a decrease. So if you're unfamiliar with a half double crochet decrease, we're just going to put 2 stitches together to start making the hat smaller at the top. So you're going to go over, like yarn over like you would for a normal half double crochet, and go in the back loop and pull up a loop. And then instead of pulling through all 3 of those, we're going to, sorry, there's a truck outside again. We're going to go into the next stitch in the back loop still, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you should have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and that way we put 2 stitches together. And then we're going to repeat that pattern. We're going to do 1 half double crochet in the back loop, 2 half double crochets in the back loop, and then we're going to do a decrease. So go in the back loop, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then pull through all 4 loops on your hook. And then we're going to do 1 regular, 2 regular, and then a decrease again. Pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. So that is your pattern for around this round, which is round 7. I'll just stay with you here and do those. So 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, and then a decrease. If you end up making this and you really like it, or even if you don't, or if you have any questions or anything like that, I would love if you could leave me a comment down below. Let me know how it worked out for you, or who you're making it for, what kind of yarn you used, anything like that. I'd love to hear if you're making this and how it's working for you. I am, getting my YouTube channel going here, and I'm trying to put more content up that people enjoy. So any kind of help would be greatly appreciated with, suggestions or comments, likes, subscription. If you like what I'm making here, there will be a lot more soon. So I'd love to hear from you. And also I am on Instagram at Creations Misfit. And if you make this, I would love to see it. You could tag me in it. Alright, so when you're coming back around, depending on how many stitches you did, you may not have, like I just did 2 regulars, so I would normally do a decrease here, but there's not enough, there's only 1 stitch left, so then just do a regular half double crochet, or, in the back loop only. But that's fine if it doesn't work out that your last one is a decrease. Just do what you can. And then you're going to slip stitch to the top of the first one, chain 1, and turn. And now we have 2 rows left, and this is round 8, or 2 rounds, I apologize. This is round 8. We are going to do exactly what we did for round 7. So starting in the very first one, we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the back loop only, 2 half double crochet in the back loop only, and then a decrease. So 2 stitches together. And that's the repeat all the way around. So I will just stay on and quickly do mine as quickly as possible. These make such good gifts too. I've given a lot of these because when I made them, I had a bunch of friends messaging me saying that they wanted to order some. And I thought, well, I'll just give them as Christmas gifts instead. So I just got their colors that they wanted, and I made them for Christmas gifts. I did a lot of solid ones, but a lot of people like the variegated yarns as well, or like color blocking, like specific color blocking. I've done a lot of purple and gray, a lot of purple and black, a lot of plain black, people like that, and a lot of these fall colors too, people really like. It's too bad this yarn is discontinued because I just love this yarn. They had so many pretty colors, and I don't know why they discontinue stuff that people enjoy and that people purchase all the time. Alright, so we're coming around to the end here. And I have one stitch left, so I'll just do a regular half double crochet in the back loop for that. And then slip stitch to the top, chain one, and turn. And now we're on our last round. Your hat should be looking something like this. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can just pause the video and catch up, or if I'm going too slow, I apologize. Alright, for this last one, we're just going to do decreases all the way around. So the same thing, the same kind of decrease that we did before, the half double crochet in the back loop only, decreases. So go into the first one, and then go into your second stitch, and pull through all four. Oops. That first one's kind of tricky sometimes. And then the next one we're also going to decrease. So just decreases all the way around. And this will close up the top, oops, a good amount, but not too much if we're making a hat. If you want to make a hat with this, you can just do another round of this afterward, like all decreases, and it should be closed up enough for you that you can just close up the top with, by sewing in your ends and putting a faux fur ball or a pom on it or something like that. So if you do want to make a full hat, that's totally fine. I've made tons of hats with the same pattern. It's just one more round to make the hat. I mean, my yarn is getting stuck here. Alright, so decreases all the way around. And mine ended with a decrease this time. And then just slip stitch into that very first one that I made a mess of. And you can cut your yarn. I just pull mine through like that to finish it. And there you go. You have a hole that will stretch enough for a pony or a messy bun or something like that to go through. So there's your completed messy bun. And like I said, if you wanted to make a hat, just do one more round of decreases only, and it will cinch the top up. And then when you sew in your end, you can just go back and forth over the top, and it will totally close up. So that's it. I hope that you liked this video, and if it helped, I would love for you to let me know, like I said, or if you can click the like, that would be really helpful for me as well. If there's anything else that you'd like to see, I would love to hear about that. I'm going to be doing a lot more stitches and pattern videos and all kinds of things, so let me know if there's something specific you'd like, and if you'd like to subscribe, I would adore you for life. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great day.